Hey guys, I'm back. Finally, right? Yeah, I didn't exactly plan on being gone all October, but I got extremely busy with my 2 other jobs. I worked at a haunted mansion all October. Those of you following my Instagram could probably tell. And I cannot apologize enough for my horrible sounding voice. That's all thanks to being a crazy clown. You know, when you're talking all high pitch and screaming in everybody's faces, your throat does not thank you. So yeah, hopefully I get over this by next week. And then I also vended at my very first reptile expo, which was super duper fun. Talking about reptiles all day for multiple days was basically like a dream come true for me. But now that that's all over with, I can finally go back to talking about Five Nights at Freddy's all day, every day. There's been mounds of new merch coming out left and right, so we'll be busy for the next few months for sure. But sadly, when it comes to actual FNAF news, it's been a literal desert out there.
Oh my god!
Okay, I lied. Turns out there is now mounds of new FNAF news as well. A new script is being worked on for the FNAF movie? I am totally fine with that. It's better for Scott to be satisfied with the movie rather than getting it out quicker. I can be patient. The VR game apparently has a part where you have to fix an animatronic up close. Guys, I don't know if I can play it when it's out, okay? The frickin' roller coaster games scare me. And if it just so happens to be Withered Freddy we have to fix? No. Just no. And Scott also said that in this game we'll be able to see an actual stage performance from the classic band for the first time. I am shook that it's taken 4+ years for us to see. And then Scott tells us he's going to be making a new game called FNAF Into Madness, a compilation of several previous gameplay ideas in the same vein as Update 2, being a free game. He says there isn't a guarantee he'll be making it, but I think we all know he will at some point. And if you think that's all the news, you are very wrong. Alongside that, Scott tells us that there is now a AAA game in the making. Oh my gosh! These next few years will be crazy for FNAF. And last but not least, there is now a new book series that'll be coming out. I actually kind of figured this would happen, considering the popularity of the last ones, though sadly these are a bit different. They're apparently collections of short horror stories that take place in the FNAF universe. I like the idea of them actually being in the same universe, but short stories? Each book containing 3? Seems a little weird to me, but I trust Scotty Boy knows what he's doing. And let's hope that he does, because there's gonna be 5 books! 5! My gosh, I need to finish my audiobooks, and fast. Anyway, enough rambling for me. Let's actually take a look at the subject of our video today. Literal Funko Fluff. The new-ish Five Nights at Freddy's Twisted Ones plushies. And even though these are not really new anymore, I still haven't finished reading the book. I mean, I definitely could have read it in a day like I did with Silver Eyes, but I wanted to make an audiobook, and just decided to have that be my first read-through. And I don't know if you guys have ever tried to read out loud for an hour or 2 straight, but trust me, it is exhausting. Plus, I don't really want to read when my voice sounds like this. So I apologize for not knowing as much about these characters as I should. I at least know some basics from the teaser drawings, which is seemingly all Funko knows too, so I don't think we're gonna have any problems. Now sadly I didn't get the topper for this set, but the box does look pretty cool. It's just got that aesthetic. Although then again, the black light box, nothing can beat that. Wait, what is that? Do you guys see it too? I swear, there's a creepy alien face on the box that I doubt was intentional. To start off, let's take a look at a character I do know, Stanley the Unicorn. If you haven't read the book, this character is a little metal horse toy that drives around on a track in Charlie's bedroom. He appears in the first book, but I'm not really sure if he does in the second. And here he is in plush form.
You better stop!
Funko, why are your plushies so awful? I guess this answers the question if Funko was going to make up for all their previous mistakes. This just looks terrible. Good luck selling this one, Funko. They can't even hope to sell this to casual fans because a lot of fans didn't even read the books. So yeah, Funko. Good luck, buddy. This is just horrendous. I decided off camera to cut these butt tags off, which was a mistake. Because now instead of tags coming out of his butt, he has... well, yeah. Sorry, Stanley. But why did they decide to sew his chin to his neck? Can someone answer this, please? Why is his body a square? And why on earth did they use such light outlines when the design basically relies on it? In most light, you can't even see that he has teeth. Or legs. He just looks like an unfinished design. I mean, it's not all terrible. His mane and his tail are a cute, dulled rainbow color. But honestly, that's the only thing I like. I don't even want to look at this monstrosity any longer. Funko, you really need to hire new designers. Seriously, guys. How hard would it have been to make the plushie look like their mystery mini? I don't even know how to sew when I could probably make one. Okay, let's move on. Next up is Theodore the Rabbit, another one of Charlie's childhood toys. Once again, this isn't really a Twisted Ones plush specifically, since he's actually torn apart in the second book. Oh, goodness. This is so much better. What the heck? This plushie actually looks like a Series 1 Funko plush. There's no crummy printed on colors. Although his eyes are sewn in, not poofy, and his head has a bit of a wonky shape, but they're not big issues. Complete opposite to our last plushie. I actually love this design. The colors are pleasing, and the design is quite true to his description. His fur was threadbare, one ear hanging loose by a single rotting thread. Now, we all know it probably would have been a bad idea for Funko to hold an ear up with a thread, so this is good enough for me. I love the way it tilts off, and since there wasn't a very big description of Theodore, it makes sense for Funko to fill in some of the blanks. Crooked teeth, crooked bow, toy animatronic cheeks. This is a nice plushie. I just hope this won't be the only good egg. Now let's move on to the actual Twisted Ones characters, the ones I'm not very familiar with. Let's start with the main character, I think? The Twisted Wolf. Now this is a really odd plushie. You know how with the teaser of the Twisted Wolf, he's like transforming into an actual giant wolf? One side of him is animatronic and the other side is a giant beast. As you can clearly see, Funko uncreatively did the same thing, but they did it wrong. See how in the teaser the line of where he's transforming is diagonal, so it actually misses his head? This head is fully beast. That should be obvious, even though some people, including Funko, couldn't tell. As you can see with the plushie, they literally made the line of where he's transforming in the exact middle of his body. But then they left his head entirely beast? Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I already don't like this plushie. Just look at his mouth. Does half of that look animatronic? No! My gosh, I don't even know much more than Funko does about this character, but I at least know how to interpret a drawing. At the very least, we once again don't have any printed on color. Okay, scratch that. We don't have as much printed on color. Honestly, I can't really figure out what makes Funko print on color and what makes them sew it. In this case, though, the printed on color actually looks better than the sewn on stuff. This is all boxy. And in Funko fashion, the endo literally makes no sense. This, on the other hand, is crystal clear. I hate printed on color when it comes to fabrics with lots of furriness to it, because obviously the color doesn't cover the entirety of it, and can make it look very cheesy. This, on the other hand, is some kind of felt, which is quite dense and not furry at all. It's the same material the teeth are made of. In this case, I think it works very well. His mouth, on the other hand, bothers me. It looks like one of those horror makeup jobs people do when they draw the mouth onto the neck. From one angle, it looks so good, but literally any other angle you can see how fake it is. I've kind of always hated it. A few details I really do enjoy, though, are the unique shaped ears and this fluffy material. Moving on, let's take a look at Twisted Freddy. Now, I don't think I mentioned it before, but man, am I glad to see most of these plushies bring back the original style bodies again. Sister Location was a mistake, people. And Stanley was a mistake as well. Twisted Freddy, though, this is pretty neat. Once again, I don't like the mouth necks and the flat eyes, but surprisingly the printed on color doesn't bother me as much on this guy. I think it's because, for once, the design is actually good enough to make it acceptable. Funko has somehow found a middle ground I didn't think existed. His torture tummy? Black hole belly? What's a good name for this thing? His stomach shredder, I guess, is exceptionally well designed. It's probably my favorite part. The bubbles look decent, and his inner mouth is probably my least favorite. But all in all, this is a pretty good plushie. Well done, Funko. You deserve a sticker. Next we have Twisted Bonnie. Easily my favorite Twisted character. I have a thing for Bonnies, I guess. They're just so cute. Twisted Bonnie has always stood out from the others for being so unique. With his split lower jaw and his exposed endo torso. Funko did try to make his endo. You know, well, also making it nonsensical. But as for his split jaw, is that it? Right there? That little notch? Is that the split? Alrighty then. Another characteristic Twisted Bonnie has are his triple segmented ears, which looks like absolute trash. Printed on fabric, and it's very obviously not the same material as the rest of him. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some things that I like about him, but in this case, the bad might outweigh the good. I like his withering, and I also just realized the eyes are probably flat to look sunken in. That fact would have been much clearer to me, though, if they hadn't made Stanley and Theodore's eyes flat as well. Next up, Twisted... Boy, what is this? I mean, no offense to the artist, but I don't really like the canon version either. She looks like she accidentally ate a few bees, if you know what I mean. But even then, that mouth is way better than this one. With the combination of this... black hole sun and balloon head, I feel like I'm looking at some bad fan art. And why does it look like her mouth joints were drawn on with Microsoft Paint? Come on, guys. It's 2018. I mean, the cupcake looks pretty cool, but they didn't give him any real volume. He's more of an afterthought. Now, if you're rightfully confused about her anime eyes, I can explain. It's very apparent Funko didn't really have a game plan for these guys. They did not make these all together. Instead, they did them individually, which has a lot of downsides. Specifically, inconsistency. Take for example the color around the eyes. Chica and Freddy have printed on ones, and the Wolf and Bonnie have sewn on ones. Freddy and Chica also use the crappy color-on fabric as their base, and therefore have more printed on color. Which makes sense, except that, as we can see from Bonnie here, Funko can print on their normal material. Minus lighter colors, I imagine. So why not print on quality fabric and sew on the whites? I have no clue. More inconsistencies include all the characters having printed on inner mouths, minus Chica, whose is just black, and Freddy and Chica have different eyes, Chica's especially. And this is because this is not Twisted Chica, my friends. This is Twisted Toy Chica. Funko knows everybody hates their classic Chica design, and they possibly know many of us love their Toy Chica design. So what did they do? Recycle. Everyone loves recycling, right? Yeah, garbage. Recycling is for garbage, which this plushie clearly is. Sorry for burning Chica, but I love me some roasted chicken. Now for our last plushie. Thank goodness. I feel like this has been a fever dream. Last up, we have Twisted Foxy. Perpetually looking like a bootleg Foxy. Why did they make his eyes so far apart? Is it literally because the reference wasn't straight on? Really, Funko? This plushie is just awful. It is so awful. Even the printed on fabric is worse on this guy than the others. It makes me wonder, when the bootlegs of these plushies come out, which they always do, will they be equally as bad? Or will they actually be better? There's literally only one thing I like about him, his metallic feet. Everything else is just not good. Why didn't they fill this in with black? Was Funko actually hoping for the illusion of a top row of teeth? And for the millionth time, the endo makes me feel even more confused. Oh, and one last thing. You know on the canon drawing how Foxy's hook base has these barnacle hole, squid tentacle, oceany spooky things? Yeah, well, Funko, I didn't see one that was shaped like this.
You know, for kids!
So that was the Five Nights at Freddy's Twisted Ones plushies. An absolute nightmare of a set. And not the good kind of nightmare. I'm sure you all understand why I was trying to burn the plushies in my last video now. Sorry Funko, but I'm going to have to take back that sticker I gave you earlier. Maybe next time you should just stick with the action figures and mystery minis, because clearly they're the only things you're good at.